Shalom, 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 Israel. Giving all praise to Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim B'chakadash. Double honor to the elders of GMS Rural. Salutation to Akim out there pushing his word in truth and sincerity, risking your freedom in your life to do so, more so now than ever before. Because we are at the end, brothers. As you can see, you watch the news and you watch certain, things. This is all prophecy. This is all relating to, Esau, Edom, which is the biblical so-called white man, as we know him today. He's going down, man. Everybody's challenging his authority. Everybody's tired of his, sanctions. Everybody's tired of him, ruling with an iron fist. Everybody's tired of it, and everybody's plotting to escape from him, and be free from the shackles of his oppression. And this is all part of prophecy because, as we know, Esau, Edom will rule in the end. According to 2 Ezra 6 and 9, he will be the ruler of the earth in the last days. Also, he will be the fourth empire, the fourth and final empire before who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, which is Yahweh Mashiach in the true Hebrew, which is his actual name, shall crack the skies and come back with force and vengeance to repay all that has been done to his people, the children of Israel, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So this is, I know the beginning is very long-winded. This is from RT.com, and this is Niger expels French ambassador, okay? And usually when a country expels another country's ambassador, that's almost like the ancient time messenger, okay? Ambassador is just the servant of the king or, the servant of the hierarchy to send a message to a country. Now, when you expel an ambassador, that's an act of war because whatever this country says that, whether it's making peace or you got to pay this, if they expel you as an ambassador or even worse, kill you, that's a declaration of war. So Niger expelling French ambassador is a declaration of war, and the reason why they bucking up against France is because France, just like rest of the Edomites, G7 nations, has been oppressing Africa and other countries like in the Middle East and things like that, and these nations are tired of it. So it says, NAMI cited hostile actions by Paris as it braces for possible attack by ECOWAS. Supporters of Niger's military government demand departure of France during a protest at a Place de la Concertation in Niamey, August 2023. The military government of Niger on Friday have French ambassador Sylvain It 48 hours to leave the country. The Nigerian foreign minister justified the decision by it not responding to their invitation to a meeting and other actions of the French government contra the interest of Niger. The ambassador's expulsion comes a month after the military of the former French colony, led by Brigadier General Abderrahmane Tchani, ousted President Mohamed Bazoum. In response, 11 members of the Economic Community of West African States sanctioned Niger and threatened a military intervention to restore democracy. Now, restore democracy meaning give power back to France. But it's not going to happen. It's going to be an all-out war. And we know because the scriptures say that nation shall rise against nation, you see. Guinea declined to go along with the sanctions, while neighboring Mali and Burkina Faso said they would consider such an intervention an act of war against them. Late on Thursday, Niger authorized the two neighbors to come to his defense should ECOWAS invade. The three countries had agreed have agreed to grant each other facilities for mutual assistance in matters of defense and security in the event of aggression and terrorist attacks, said a joint statement by their foreign minister. Now, we can read a little bit on West African Saint. This is another article, West African sanctions blocking food and aid from reaching Niger. Okay, so they're trying to, cause each other to fight. Now, this is Isaiah 14, my favorite chapter, actually. Let's start at Isaiah 14:3. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein I was made to serve. Now, if you go to verse 1, it's speaking about Jacob, or the children of Israel, which is Negros, Latinos, and Native Americans, the 12 tribes, and how the Lord is going to put an end to our oppression, because contrary to popular belief, we're in oppression right now. We're being afflicted. We're the last hire, first fire. We never receive reparations for what our ancestors had to build and what we're still building. You see, so the Lord is going to give us rest from this oppression, and bring us back to that land. Verse 4, and thou shalt take up the proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how has their oppressor ceased and the golden city ceased? That's really talking about America. But America is the whore that sitteth on the beast, which is NATO and the EU, the Edomite nations that rule, the G7 nations, you see, the European Union. But America is the head of that. And it's pretty much in control, or they move the direction of the beast. You know what I'm saying? The Lord had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled nations in anger. How did Babylon, or aka America, rule the nations in anger? By putting sanctions on them, having a IMF, a debt-based society, to where they always have to be debted and always have to pay a portion of whatever they have to America, thereby making it rich beyond belief. You see, and if you speak out against it, they either sanction you, destroy your economy, or they're coming in there and start a war and kill your people. You see, and that's how America has been afflicting the world. You see. Because, the Lord gave him the power. And it says, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth. And once it's final time for his judgment, nobody's going to stop it. Nobody's going to buck up against it. It's just going to be what it is. So we're going to jump to verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. Now, the dead is talking about, like I said, all the chief ones of the earth, man. All the kings of the earth is starting to rise up against Esau, Edom. Again, mainly G7, the European Union nations. These nations are starting to rise up against them. That's why you can have Niger say, look, F you, France, we're going to fight against you, and we're going to go to war. And there's really nothing they can do to stop it. They're going to have to go to war. And right now, they just ain't got the military might. You see? But now they rise. It's funny about that time, they rising up against you. It had raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. There you go. So now these nations are rising up against you. And their whole goal is to take you down. They're tired of the BS. So prepare for all-out scale war in Niger. Versus France. It's about to get critical. So with that one, say shalom.